without any further delay, going to bring on a man who knows that world of cinema. He knows the world of streaming, of television. He himself has written for both. He has shared his musings in his written way at, what is it called again, the website?
The Voice of San Francisco. It's thevoicesf.org.
Thevoicesf.org. There'll be a link to it.
Yeah, you can see my articles. There's one all about the wonderful coffee. Not coffee. Never mind. I don't want to get into coffee.
Here he is. He comes and goes on a rainbow. He's the wonderful Michael Snyder, the culture blaster. Hello, sir.
Hey, Mark. Hi, Kim, Albert. I know I'm already on the Palantir naughty list, so I remain unfiltered. I know they're logging all this stuff, but I'm not afraid to say whatever's on my mind. I'll say it. Trump is a dictator. I mean, have you seen him smirking as he wolfs down a few orders of McDonald's fries? He's clearly a dick who likes taters. So try to argue with me on this point, and I will slap you down. It's a problem. And we have to deal with it, and it's getting worse. It's leaking into my realm.
Is it really? How is it leaking into your realm?
Well, next week, that Quisling, Jeff Bezos, and his company Amazon are going to release the Melania documentary.
Oh, that's right. I'm excited about that.
They paid her zillions of dollars. I'm so excited to see the story of this nude model who crawls her way into New York society, becomes the wife of a obscenely greedy prevaricator.
Don't talk to me that way.
And climbs further. She's in the White House. It's unbelievable. Yeah. So we got Melania next week.
Yeah.
What's next? Revenge of the Nerds, starring Stephen Miller. That could be the next one on the docket. I mean, it's clearly already happening as we sit here.
Well,
I love it when you're angry.
It's the January dead zone for movies, and that's what I'm trying to get to.
Well, I'm looking forward to the Melania thing. I forgot it's coming out next week. Good for you, Michael.
Yeah, I
can see that in the theater. Will you review it?
It's in the theater. I will actually not review it.
They're not going to make my ass.
They are not going to make it available to me because
I think there are going to be a lot of good reviews. This is the new America.
Well,
CBS,
be a lot of good reviews. I hear, is going to actually lead 60 Minutes with a positive review of this.
Right.
I don't know.
Amazing.
It's not amazing.
Redefining motion pictures.
It's horrifying.
Says CBS Television.
It's a nightmare.
Fox News says I've never seen anything like it.
And
I fell in love with the First Lady.
I hope to never see anything like it again. How did this happen?
There's never been anything like this.
Our country.
I've never seen anything like it.
Insofar as it's January, and we've already seen that the studios and the distributors are not going to give their best product a showcase in January. This is the post-Christmas, post-holiday time when people don't have a lot of money. They're a little burned out on entertainment. So that's why we see things like last week, you aren't here, but we reviewed a movie called Primate, which was about a chimp with rabies. And then not that
what?
It was pretty entertaining. I mean, considering. And we also got, the kind of weak-kneed sequel to Greenland. And I don't mean the country that's, on Donald Trump's want list, but Greenland 2, not as good as Greenland 1. And I got a feeling Greenland America isn't going to be as good as Greenland 2, but we'll see how that plays out.
I have no idea what you're saying right now, but it sounds good.
Well, you weren't here, but there was a movie called Greenland, and it was the sequel opened last
Greenland
week.
2. No, I saw you. You didn't love it.
I did not. So now we have the first.
What are we doing now?
The first movie, but this is by way of kind of giving
you need to lay the groundwork.
The territory that we're looking at.
I see.
Not great movies come out in January, but occasionally something good comes out, and it's generally a genre thing that not everybody's going to like. I don't recommend that you see 28 years later.
Oh my God, this is another horror film.
It is a horror film, but it's a smart horror film.
All right.
The 28 days, 28 months, 28 years later franchise is the thinking person's apocalyptic nightmare vision.
Wow.
And now we have the sequel to the fairly recent installment, 28 years later. Essentially, this looked at the far-reaching effects of a zombie outbreak that started in the UK but tore apart the globe. And it obviously is a little grisly. And this...
What is the bone? What is it?
Well, the Bone Temple is a location that has been constructed by a doctor/survivor who has figured out a way to avoid the effects of the zombie outbreak and has built himself this kind of enclave. He has an underground bunker.
Right.
He has records from the 80s that he plays that he loves. There's a lot of Duran Duran in this installment. And the guy is played as he played in 28 Years Later, played by Ralph Fiennes. And this guy is looking for a cure. He's not an idiot, and he's trying to figure out a way to work around the zombie apocalypse, or at least kind of bring those who have been affected by this virus or whatever it is back to some degree of lucidity or humanity.
Okay.
And he may have come up with something. But anyway, he was in the previous film, and there are brigands. There's kind of a gang of crazed lunatics led by the King Lunatic, played by Jack O'Connell. And these youngsters are his, I guess you call them, his strong right hand. This guy is just, going from place to place, just killing people because it's something he wants to do. He's trying to send.
That's not Ralph Fiennes, though.
No, it's Jack O'Connell's character.
Okay.
Who's kind of they all wear.
Sounds pretty dark so far.
It's incredibly dark.
All right,
so
get me to the bottom line.
Well, this should be kind of a lesser film, but it actually worked really well for what it was. And it could be a bit, or maybe that should be a bite better than its predecessor.
Yeah.
And,
Bone-templed pilot, says Phineas. I love it.
That's what they should have been playing in the bunker, but instead they're playing Duran Duran. The gore is particularly aggressive here, especially in the first half hour. But to be honest, it is liberally splashed throughout.
No thanks. Already got nightmares from reality, says Deb. I feel
it's appropriate to the story, which is a barn burner, and quite literally at one point. This is directed by the very, very talented Nia DaCosta, who did the Candyman revival, who did the Marvels for Marvel Cinematic Universe peoples, and it's well done, and it has a good pedigree. I mean, Danny Boyle and a few other notables have been involved with this in the past, and there's a really solid group of young actors playing the acolytes of this Jack O'Connell's character. It worked. Alex Garland has been involved in this franchise. They're all producers on this, and I thought for what it is, it works. It is not for you, Mark.
Yeah.
It is not for you. It's in theaters, though.
All right. The Bone Temple, everybody.
Okay, here's something you could watch.
Don't diss Duran Duran, says Great Warrior Gaming. No one was dissing Duran Duran.
No,
I love Duran Duran.
The Reflex is still in my top 20 of all time.
There you go.
Don't get me wrong here. The Rip is something you can watch. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you'll be that put off by it. You may actually like it. I know the crime drama genre is something that you and Courtney do enjoy on occasion.
Yes, it's true.
And The Rip is actually available on Netflix as of today. And it is the work of screenwriter and director Joe Carnahan. And he's an expert at gritty crime dramas. He did Narc and Cop Shop. He did a really terrific wilderness drama with Liam Neeson called The Gray, which blew me away. Mm-hmm. And The Rip is one of his typically taught offerings, and it's further elevated by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck as co-leads. They play a couple cops in a Miami police unit that undercovers drug crime and also is constantly under investigation by internal affairs. And one of their number, a woman who's involved with the Ben Affleck character, she's like the captain, and she is killed, and that's what launches this story to find out, who was responsible. Was it somebody on the outside? Was it someone from, the drug trade? Was it one of the cops who had an axe to grind?
A dirty cop?
Could have been a dirty cop. There is, in fact, a tip that there is a house in a kind of abandoned housing district that has thousands and thousands of dollars stashed away, drug money. And a rip is when you go and find these caches of money, illegally gotten gains, and bring them back to the station, or get them off the street. And so these guys, played by Damon and Affleck, lead a troupe of other cops, including characters played by Steven Yeun, Teyana Taylor, who's gotten a lot of love for One Battle After Another. Kyle Chandler's in this movie, and they actually zero in on this house, and they find millions. And now the question is, are they going to actually skim? Are they going to reveal the fact to their superiors that they found all this money? Is there a betrayer amongst them?
Yeah.
Are the cartels going to come down on them? It's pretty exciting stuff, and I got a kick out of it. It's a B movie and it's proudly a B movie. It's called The Rip, a crime drama and a thriller that's available on Netflix.
Love it. It's Netflix streamable now. You can stream it right this second.
Great. I mean, Catalina Sandino Moreno plays one of the cops. It's a good film.
All right. What else do you have, Culture?
All right.
Badger?
Well, this is not necessarily in your wheelhouse. And again, there's the horror component. But again, it's January, and they're just, rolling stuff out.
I guess it's going to be a horror-filled January.
Well, of course. It's a pretty horrific January already. This movie is called Night Patrol, and it doesn't quite work, but it has some interesting ambitions here. This is a movie that essentially mixes and mashes police corruption, racial conflict, African mysticism, and some very bloody horror. There is we're not in Miami anymore. It's the LAPD, the Los Angeles Police Department, and they have a special gang task force called Night Patrol that is ostensibly out to take care of the Crips, the Bloods, and anyone else in South Central LA who would get in their way.
Wow.
But it turns out that these guys have some kind of really creepy component that is revealed over the course of the movie.
Yeah.
And in fact, they've decided to take down as many people as they can in the projects. And that means the gangbangers and innocent bystanders. And there's a reason for all this, and it's horror related.
Okay.
This is very, very gory. Director and screenwriter Ryan Prowse, who did a movie called Low Life, it was also based in LA, seems to know and relish the dark underbelly of Los Angeles. But this is audacious and silly fun. Again, if you can handle the splatter, it's called Night Patrol.
Is it like a spaghetti western kind of splatter, or is it more like torture type?
No, it's
guys going in,
ghoulish,
shooting up the place.
There are elements of ghouls. I don't want to say vampires because that's not specifically what we're talking about here, but it's that kind of horror film.
Okay.
And yet it's also a police movie.
Right. So the ghouls are also cops.
Corrupt cops. And anyway, it's in select theaters.
All right.
I do want to point out, though, that Justin Long and Dermot Mulroney are in the cast.
Oh,
so
wow.
This is not just a bunch of indie actors and such. Jermaine Fowler, the comedian and actor, is in this, and they acquit themselves well. But this is silly. This is, if The Rip is a B movie, this is like a C movie or a C minus movie. Right. And it's not bad. And I mean, not terrible. Michael Snyder, the Mark Thompson show.
All right. There's a lot of that. Okay.
Okay. Now for something superb. Sound of Falling is a time-tripping, century-spanning examination of 4 generations of Germans living in the same country house and focusing on the specific lives of 4 girls that are involved in this. So it's like a German farm, and it changes hands, and people who are controlling the area where this is located obviously change over the course of decades in the 20th century, and that means East Germany and all those issues. And of course, it does end in its way in our current era. But it is a very, very powerful film. And I was very much caught up in it. And the people that are involved and their interactions and the way the role and the regard of women has changed over the past century is on display here in Sound of Falling.
I'm sorry, how do they revisit or how do they visit 4 generations of Germans?
They keep, I said, time shifting. There is, it's a movie.
That thing,
yeah, it's not time travel, but they kind of, you see them back.
Flashback, flash forward.
That whole flashbacks and flash forwards. Masha,
is that are you mocking me right now for calling it flashback, flash forward?
No, I'm telling you that's exactly what it is.
All right, don't mock me.
No,
Michael.
There's no time machine, Mark. I didn't say there was a time machine. I didn't call this a science fiction movie.
Okay, go ahead. I don't know what the hell they do it for.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, it's a drama, Mark. But it's really remarkable to see how it unfolds and how you have to kind of go with the flow as we change eras back and forth, and we get deeper and deeper into the family relationships and the friends and the outside influences that impact these families who have lived in this German farmhouse. It is the work of a director named Masha Shalinsky, and she also is the co-screenwriter of this thing. And it's kind of fascinating to watch how this thing plays out and how there's connections over the course of all these generations.
It's in German?
It is in German with English subtitles. It is in select theaters. It's so amazing. Night Patrol, this lunacy, is in select theaters, and this wonderful awards bait sort of film,
sure.
Sound of Falling, is also in select theaters. So make your selection, people.
Sure.
I think you got to.
You can select the theaters. You don't have to wait for others to select.
You
the
do not. This is a powerful film.
Okay.
Anyway, we do want to point out that one of the things that goes on during this time, the January doldrums, is that movies that were released in December for short runs in Los Angeles and New York start to expand out wider, and some of them are pretty good, and they are generally Indian foreign films. There is a movie called Resurrection that was talk about time slipping. This is the craziest, trippiest, most bizarre dimension hopping movie I've seen in a while, by the Chinese director Bi Gan, and it's almost like a mosaic turned into a film, and it's a strange future vision where people are choosing to kind of seek immortality somehow, but it's almost indescribable. I know that that's something bad for a reviewer to say, hey, I can't describe the thing, but it was really, really fascinating. All these different dimensions seem to be shifting. It's like one locale that keeps shifting from one era to another, and in that way, it kind of has a slight resemblance to Sound of Falling, but it's far more psychedelic and hallucinogenic.
I'm sorry, is there a plot here, or is it just all mosaic?
There's a guy trying to find his way through this morass, and he encounters this woman who's enigmatic. There's violence, there's craziness, there's criminal behavior.
But there's enough of a plot here to keep you interested.
It's visually so arresting that it's hard to tear your eyes away from the screen.
All right.
And, the most familiar face here is the Chinese actress Shu Qi, and she's, of course, always beautiful and wonderful. And it's strange. It's in select theaters, and also movies that we reviewed already, they're in select theaters. We talked about it last week. I'll say again, Dead Man's Wire, which is the latest movie by the great Gus Van Sant, based on a true story about a 1977 Indianapolis kidnapping by a guy who finds his property being in the purview of the bank, so he goes after the mortgager at the bank, kidnaps them in an attempt to kind of regain ownership of his property.
I love that.
Oh, it's fascinating, man, and wonderful. And it stars Bill Skarsgård, who most people only know as Pennywise the Clown, I think. And he's just fantastic as this guy, Tony Kuritzis. And the father of the current president of the mortgage company that he kidnaps is played by Al Pacino, which I think is completely hilarious because this movie, more than anything else, reminded me a lot of Dog Day Afternoon.
Wow, that's
the kidnapping
terrific.
and what have you.
It seems like it's got good pedigree.
Oh, well, Coleman Domingo plays a local radio personality. Carrie Elwes is here as a local detective.
Wow.
It's really, really well done. It had that brief run in December in LA and New York City for Oscar qualification, but it's now opening wider. I do recommend Dead Man's Wire. I thought it crackled in the best possible way. I wasn't as crazy about A Private Life, which we reviewed in December, but is rolling out much like Dead Man's Wire. It's a very, very low-key French mix of drama and mystery, and it features two of the biggest male stars in France, Daniel Auteuil and Mathieu Amalric, and they're playing opposite Jodie Foster, who is in fact the nominal star of this thing. She plays an American psychiatrist gone Parisienne. She has a French ex-husband and grown son and patients. The vibe here for me was Hitchcock light. And of course, Jodie is fluent in French, and so she was able to do this. And there are many moments where she's speaking in English, but again, like Sound of Falling, there are subtitles when necessary. And it was directed and co-written in almost like Hitchcockian fashion by Rebecca Zlotowski. It is now rolling out in select theaters. And finally, I do want to give another big thumbs up to No Other Choice, finally getting to a wider distribution. It is the latest film from the great Korean filmmaker Park Chan-wook, who did Old Boy and The Handmaiden. And it is funny and almost devilish. Lee Byung-hun plays a guy who loses his job at a paper company and decides the only way he's going to be able to survive and take care of his family and his home is to eliminate the competition for other jobs. And it is funny and dark. It is a big skewering of heartless corporate culture and materialism.
And where can I see that?
It's in select theaters, Mark.
All right.
And that there's a perverse drive to get ahead in business, as evidenced by the sort of people that are running our government right now.
Sure.
And this is very much honing in on that. I thought No Other Choice is up to his great work. And again, Park Chan-wook makes terrific films, and this is a smart, darkly funny film. Again, it's called No Other Choice.
Wow. Love it. Culture Blaster, I'm going to give you 90 seconds to mention some kind of, TV streaming thing. Also.
So did you see Hijack, which starred Idris Elba
yes,
as a
I did.
negotiator?
I saw all the episodes.
Stuck on a plane, and he has to deal with that. He's back in season 2, but this is not on a plane. The hijacking that occurs
is a podcast.
Is
some guy who goes on and on and on, and you can't get a word in.
You mean like everybody who comes on your show?
How dare you?
So he's stuck on a subway train in Berlin, careening through the city, and there is a reason why this thing is exciting, and you have to tune in. I've only seen the first episode, and I'm completely hooked. Idris Elba, great. This, again, has subtitles because it's set in Berlin, and it has German actors, and they're important. Like the people that run and oversee the subway system in Berlin become as significant as air traffic controllers are in Hijack.
Of course.
And this, again, is executive produced by George Kay, who created it, and he's the guy who's behind the wonderful Lupin, which is available on
what's
on
happening with Lupin? Is it coming back?
I would think so. Ask George Kay. He came up with the second season of Hijack, so why not more Lupin? Anyway, I'm thoroughly
You like
hooked.
Hijack. All right.
I am thoroughly hooked. And one more quick note. I know we may have some Trekkies or Trekkers amongst the audience, and well, we have a new Star Trek show. It's on Paramount Plus, and I know that people are very, very miffed at what Paramount is doing and what it's turned into and how it's affected the CBS News operation, and the fact that it's now owned and operated by Hellison, as I like to refer to him. But we now have Star Trek Starfleet Academy, which is a show about the post-burn era in Starfleet, where they are attempting to rebuild their army of spaceship traveling explorers and what have you. And we look at a young group of cadets who come together to learn in San Francisco and on a ship that is a kind of connected to the academy. So they go out on missions occasionally. And, yes, it's like Starfleet 90210.
It looks like the poster for it, which we're showing right now, it really does have that.
Yeah, but it's vibe. Like, Jean-Luc Picard. This is like Jean-Luc's Creek. I mean, it really very much, I'm not saying it's like Beverly Hills 90210 or Dawson's Creek, but yes, it absolutely seems to be. Of course, it's a multicultural group of actors and characters and multi-alien characters. But listen, the chancellor of the academy and also the captain of their ship, the USS Athena, is played by Holly Hunter. The big adversary in this series so far, and I've only watched a couple episodes, is played by Paul Giamatti.
Wow.
A significant character that launches there's always a bad boy involved in the group, but he's actually kind of secretly good. Well, his mom is played by Tatiana Maslany. They didn't skimp on the actors.
Sounds like a lot of money went into it. Star Trek Starfleet Academy is
on
what
Paramount
it's called.
Plus. I don't know how great it's going to turn into, how it's going to be. I mean, I remember seeing the first couple episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation. And I don't think so. But eventually it became great. Will I give this the opportunity? I will. But there are some silly moments and some cliched moments with these youngsters and their different foibles. One more quick note. Star Trek veterans Robert Picardo and Tig Notaro are both involved in this show.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
Tig Notaro is this like nasty little engineer named Jet Reno. She's funny. She's snarky. Yeah. And Robert Picardo has always played the holographic doctor since Star Trek Voyager, and he's back. And so,
does somebody like Tig Notaro, who's got a comic, great comedy chops,
terrific comedian.
Those opportunities to act, are generally auditions, and then these comedians crush the audition and get the role, or are they known personalities and it's a chance to reach out the franchise to other sectors of the entertainment?
I am wondering
footprint?
whether Jet Reno was written specifically for Tig Notaro, but it was she was a character on Star Trek Discovery, which I wasn't crazy about. I love the character, and of course Notaro is
she's great.
A ball of energy.
I'm just always curious because they go, oh wow, I wonder whether there was an audition involved, or whether they are just. It seems like you're saying it was probably written right for them.
Yeah, and I thought that they cast this thing. There's like an Ariana Grande type alien girl here. I expected her to burst into popular when she was talking to the bully and the bad boy who are vying for her affections. There's a love triangle. I'll
How does a holographic doctor take your pulse? Asks Snellophidian. That's great.
They seem to, I don't know, it's hand wavium.
Yeah. All right. So
there you have it.
I'm excited about Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Potentially. Hijack is the one he's really excited about.
That's the one I'm on
Elba
board with.
season 2 of Hijack. You saw him on a plane. Now see him on a train. No Other Choice is the Park Chan-wook. It's funny. It's the Park Chan-wook movie that kind of skewers corporate society and the kind of employment challenges and staffing.
What will people do to get ahead? Well, they'll go to great extremes as seen in No Other Choice.
It's called No Other Choice. It's in select theaters. A Private Life is in French with also some English. Jodie Foster is in it. It's in select theaters, and Michael really liked that as well.
It was okay. Hitchcock light.
Dead Man's Wire. There's a crime thriller involving the taking of a hostage. And this is a true story.
Yeah, it's based on true events. And you see, of course, at the very end of the film, you get a few snapshots of the actual kidnapper and his victim. It works, man. It's Gus Van Sant.
I remember the actual story. I remember it was in 1970s it happened. Yeah. Dead Man's Wire, directed by Gus Van Sant, as noted, and Michael really likes it. Resurrection is a journey, it sounds like, through what he called, the Culture Blaster did, a mosaic turned into a film. I didn't really follow it, to be honest. During the review, I dozed off for a few minutes, so you'll have to tell me.
Mark, it was hard to follow the movie when I was there,
okay.
But I did not doze off.
But he called it riveting. He said you just get so transfixed by the journey.
And the visuals.
The visual mosaics.
There's crime involved, there's romance involved, but it's all very, very subservient to the visuals.
In theaters, Sound of Falling is the film he loved. 4 generations of Germans existing in this farmhouse, and the linking of all of these different generations, he said, is something that's really quite extraordinary. It's in German with subtitles, and it's in select theaters. Night Patrol is the wild police corruption film with mysticism and gang warfare from the director of Lowlife. Justin Long and Dermot Mulrooney are in it. Michael says, I don't know, kind of a wild ride.
It was okay. It's very, very much about racial strife as well. It's kind of a fascinating cops versus, the black community in Los Angeles. That has a long and ugly history, as you're well aware.
The Rip is Joe Carnahan, who did Narc. He did Cop Shop, The Gray, which is a great movie with Liam Neeson. This has Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. I mean, those guys are handsome. How could that miss?
Girl, you just woo.
Control yourself, Mark.
They are drug crime cops. A captain is killed, and there's an investigation, and it sounds like it's Michael suggested, and I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but to put words in your mouth. Somewhat disposable, but a good ride.
I thought it was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
And again, these guys know what they're doing. And it's a glorified B movie, but not even that glorified. It's gritty. And Carnahan is.
It is good. On Netflix, and I may watch it tonight. How is that?
Why
28 years later, The Bone Temple is the Ray Fiennes film that Michael said it's good. It's kind of, it's not for me because it's sort of horror. but it's good for all you horror fans.
Look, Mark, I know you're not going to be interested in watching somebody eat somebody's brains, so I'm not going to recommend.
Does that
this
really
movie to
happen
you.
in the film? Oh my God, dude!
It's like the future is like an automat for zombies.
Oh my God, that is just brutal.
You just don't get it.
Very well done.
I don't get it.
We have the phrase "good of kind." This is very good of kind.
Find Michael Snyder at thevoicesf.org. What a great website for you to be writing. The musings of Michael extend well beyond the world of movies and streaming.
A
And
little
music.
something about the show Pluribus available this week.
Oh,
and
yeah. People really like that Pluribus.
It's pretty wonderful. And how about those 49ers? What can I say?
I mean, I have such mad respect for what they've done with a team that's been decimated by injury. Unbelievable. There is Albert bringing up the Michael Snyder page on The Voice SF. Wow. Look at that. You really write so very well, Michael.
Well, thank you, Mark. And you really speak well.
It's a shame that none of that, let me finish, comes across here in your reviews.
Wow, you're killing me, dude. You're killing me.
I love you, and that's the reason you're here. I adore you and have for many, many years.
My eloquence is undisputed, dude.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Go Niners for Michael. To win for Michael, Niners. He comes and goes on a rainbow. Michael Snyder, everyone, the Culture Blaster.
See you next week, everybody.
I love my Michael.